So let's have a quick look at how we would use the resource diary in order to record our engagements. When you use the resource diary, I'm afraid there's a few bits and pieces left over in this directory, but the files that we are interested in are these two here. One of them, the XLSM file, is the actual resource diary, and then there's a data file which goes with it, which has data in it. So let's open the resource diary. It's a simple Excel spreadsheet. With macros within it. So you can see there are some tabs along here. The holidays tab is just for fixed holidays. There's a help file which has got some various bits and pieces in here. We're not going to go on there. There's a main tab which is covered up with this menu which does bits and pieces. And then we have the more interesting one, which is assignment entry. And as you'll see, I've been a bad boy. I haven't kept it up to date here. And there are, at the moment, it's showing that it is empty. So we're going to put an engagement in. You'll notice we have this little tab here, amend engagement and new engagement. So we'll put a new engagement in, and I'll put in what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the week. So the interface is a little bit clunky here. So we put in a start date, which we will select as being, well, let's start from yesterday just for something to do. And let's book 5 days for the week. So there's some various tab ways that you can put things in, a number of days, or you can put an end date, and then you can do, play some tunes on what days you're going to be putting things in. But typically you have a start date and a number of days, and that's where you're going to go. And I'll just put in a simple engagement here, which is showing that I've got a confirmed chargeable billable piece of work with the customer being Telefonica. And in here we'll say the description of the work is OpenStack tenants, and then we'll press the magic button that says add engagement. Now, a number of things happen when you press that button. Firstly, and you can see it's having to do a bit of work here. Firstly, it makes an entry in my pipeline tool, my resource diary, saying what's going to be going on here. It puts that down, and the other thing it does is it goes into Outlook and puts an entry in there for there. So if I now go across to my Outlook diary, what you'll see is here we've got these entries that I've just put in here, Telefonica OpenStack tenants. So that's marked on each day. Then if I go to next week where I haven't done it yet, it's not there. So it fills in your Outlook calendar with the details as well as inside the tool itself. But at this point, the data is just inside this tool here. Let's just put in a couple of other things just to exercise it along. Let's imagine that I was going to be taking next Monday off. What we do there is we put in new engagement start date is the, whenever it is, 16th of then, number of days 1, and we would say holiday, let's say full day, no description needed there, add engagement, and ka-ching, in it goes. Grind, 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 there it is. Let's now say, oh, change my mind, I'm not going to have that. And this is where we go into the amend engagement tab. And we select that one there, and we say, wait a minute, before I do that, I'll just show you that when I added that day's holiday, it then put it into my Outlook diary. So for next week, we have got Monday the 16th, look, task holiday there. Now we'll go to the resource diary and say, delete engagement. Are you sure? Yes, let's do that. Delete engagement and ka-ching. Now we'll go back to Outlook and lo and behold, that engagement's gone from my diary. So the resource diary puts stuff in and out of your Outlook diary. One thing to watch out for, if I was to put in a half day's holiday on Monday, new engagement, start date 16th, number of days 1, holidays AM, That'll then mark it in the resource diary as 2 blocks of time. One is the holiday there, and the other one is available in the PM. This is a bit unhelpful. What it does is it actually puts entries into your diary, and if you then look, someone tries to schedule a meeting, they will see that as being unavailable time to hold a meeting. You can see it's pushed those out. So part days are put in as scheduled events in a calendar, whereas if it's a whole day, then it goes in as just an all-day event. The effect of that is that so that's basically fairly undesirable. Broadly, my advice would be try and only put full day events into the resource diary. Let's go back and take those out again now. Amend that one, delete, yes. And then we've got these 2 available events. Can we delete those? That's not coming out. Maybe if I put a full day across them and delete them then it will come out again. Let's have a go at that. 1 holiday full day, add. Do I want to override them? Yes. Let's go back to Outlook and let's put it back there. So my things that were across there have disappeared. And now we'll take it out again because alas, I'm not on holiday next Monday. So now let's, probably I'm going to be doing the same thing for the rest of the week. So seeing as I'm demonstrating it, I'll just put another block in. I could have just run it all the way across there, but let's just put in another week's worth of Telefonica OpenStack. Start date then, 5 days. Confirmed. Charge for billable. Telefonica OpenStack tenants. Add grind 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ka-ching. Worth having a quick look at what some of these engagement types are. So if you've got something that isn't a confirmed engagement, you can put down a provisional engagement. And what that will do is that'll block out time so that you can, when a scheduler is looking at putting something on you, they'll know that they've got to come and say, is this provisional thing work going to come on or not? There are other types of absence that you can have. You can have conference attendance or team meetings, or if you're doing some SDP planned tasks, you can put that down. Obviously an RM or equivalent will give you rules about just when and how you do that. But the most usual ones that you use are confirmed, provisional, and holiday. And then with these, again, it's just the usual things: chargeable, billable, chargeable internal, and pre-sales. And that's about all there is to know about that. So then we go back to the main tab. Having finished putting all those things in, we will then say we're going to close and save the workbook. And it will put a pop-up saying, do I want to email it? Why, yes, I do. So the data that we put into here is at the moment just sitting on my laptop. By emailing this off, it then goes off to an address where the workbook will be scraped from the mail feed, and it will then go into a database which is available to the schedulers. I've added and amended and not saved them yet. Do I want to save them now? No, I don't want to. And I think something's happened there. So there we go. You can see there's some things that I put in there, and it's doing it's not very pretty, this stuff coming out. Put some holiday at the end of the year, as you can see. Some public holidays. But this file here, your pipeline.xlsx file, that's not really terribly interesting. And that's probably going to crash in a minute. Now then, one of the things other things you have to watch out for is that by default, if your pipeline tool sits in a directory where you have OneDrive running on it, it will by default for an internal email send a OneDrive link rather than the file itself. OneDrive links, you can see it's a OneDrive link because it's got a cloud thing there. OneDrive links don't work in the pipeline tool. So you then have to go and say, where is it? I can't do this way. I've got to send this. And then I go into the sent mail. This is a bit tedious. And we say forward that to the same address, which is pipeline tool, pipeline@thingy.com, and then we can go and say attach as a copy. And by doing that, what it does is it sends all of the details of that pipeline XLS file instead of just the summary. A bit tedious, but that way it will then actually show up on resourcing. It's just a nasty little wrinkle. And that's the pipeline tool. Thanks very much.